over decades old. Ask for funding, but there are probably only 3 in Dworshack. That's right. Yeah.
How's it going? Good.
Don't look now.
Okay, I have 7 o'clock, and I would like to call this meeting to order, August 8th, 2023. Have the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we'll do the minutes. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, before we do minutes, Laura called me Monday and let me know that she was out of town for the meeting tonight. Mike texted me and just a few, maybe an hour ago now, and said that he would not be able to attend because of a sick child at home. So, Laura excused or not, Mike excused or not?
Yes, yes.
Excused? Okay, for the record. All right, so approval of July 25th, 2023 regular meeting minutes, council?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion that we approve the minutes for the council meeting July 25th, 2023.
Okay, it's moved and seconded to approve July 25th, 2023 regular meeting minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. All right, council, on your agenda, unfinished business A is the amended policy and procedure handbook for council members, and you were presented this previously, and I'm going to turn the floor over to Barbara so that you can converse with her.
I just want to remind you that it is just a few changes that I added to what you've already approved and signed. And I'm just asking for your input on the policy changes.
Okay, for myself, I don't see any objection to any one of the sections and changes.
Could you tell us what they are, or is that illegal?
What I stated last meeting, I added, I expanded on confidentiality in the types of meetings, executive sessions. I added meeting participation and duties and privileges of citizens in section 7. In public records, I added public forums for public records. I expanded the definition of code of ethics, and I expanded under code of conduct the conflict of interest.
And so what restrictions did you put on the
Denise,
audience?
thank you for your questions.
Well,
This is a council meeting.
Can't you explain
We
to us
have
what you're
questions on
changing?
the floor from the council.
Are you budgeting? I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know.
Just be reminded that the, I guess the unhighlighted part has already been approved, and all of you have signed the rules and protocol for council members previously. what Barbara said that she added was in the highlighted areas. So,
I make a motion that we accept the changes to the code of conduct.
To allow the public to know what they're changing to restrict
Jim and
input in the meeting.
okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the policy and procedure handbook for council members amended spots,
Amended policy.
amended policy and procedures. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. Council, the agenda has playground equipment. Since Laura's not here, there's no new discussion or material that has been presented, but it is still being waiting for, I guess. Some other companies are supposed to be sending her some catalogs for different types of equipment. So that will be at a later date. So is it okay if we continue to table that one?
Yeah. Nice.
Okay. And since she's not here, she won't have that chance to present. Okay, council, item C, USDA RD update. Conference call was on the 2nd of August, and I'm going to turn the floor over to Robert and Jim for further.
Robert, your comments?
There isn't a lot we can really do about it, Jim, is there? I mean, the list of biofilm is not bad. I mean, it's not going to hurt you. It's not poison, no one's going to die from it. No. I mean, that's not really, well, I suppose it is a health issue, but it's not a health issue. We're not going to have a loan. We have a grant of $300,000 instead to clean the biofilm. Was it 300,000?
A loan of 300.
It was a loan of 300,000.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Your noun was incorrect. It's not a grant, but a loan.
Oh, yes, sorry.
And have you guys found out whether that's
Excuse
gonna
me.
be a 5 or 20-year loan?
This is not open for discussion at this time. Let them finish what they know.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
And that's number 2.
Okay. Well, 7, it was explained that the source was unknown as far as the contamination of the biofilm. However, it was stated that there was no reason to believe that regular maintenance could have prevented this problem, number 1. Number 2, Mr. Remick says the Public Works has granted a $300,000 loan to rehabilitate well 7, but also mentioned that additional funding would be needed for a new pump for well 7 and possibly addressing well 8 being overused, which means that there's a possibility that we may have to end up replacing the pump in 8 and get 7 back going because it has been overused. A question was raised about well 7 being available for use after it was rehabilitated, and the answer was that it would be available to the town for use again. Although the aquifer is declining, the biofilm in well 7 and that the declining aquifer has been ongoing for some time. USDA RD representative concurred that the town of Lynn did not meet all the requirements for the emergency grant application. Mr. Rose, who is the USDA RD loan specialist from Spokane office, stated that with the PWB loan, it looked like the immediate emergency of rehabilitating well 7 has been taken care of, so the town of Lynn is not eligible for a USDA RD emergency grant at this time. Although in the future, the town can look at having USDA RD refinance the loan if they want to. And I believe we will want to. I believe that it was agreed upon that Mr. Remick would be the contact person for the town of Lynn to USDA RD. That's according to the notes that were taken. Okay.
With, also, that was with it, within that phone call, I'm just repeating, 300,000. $300,000, 75,000 for the grant part. So that gives you the 225,000 for the loan part. 1.11% is what it ends up being, and it is for 20 years. So that's what we are working off of right now. Okay, council, is there anything else?
I have a question.
Not at this time.
Okay.
I have a question.
You can wait till the end. Thank you.
You mean comment period?
New business. Council, we have building permits, re-roofing. You have 2 copies of re-roofs, one on Lucher and one on 3rd Street. And it is done by the same company because it is the same owner.
I make a motion that we accept both roofing projects, the one at 116 East 3rd and the one at 113 South Lucher.
I second the motion.
Okay, it's moved and seconded to approve the re-roofing at 113 South Lucher and at 116 East 3rd Street. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Roll up your sleeves. Here we go. Item B is 108 West 3rd Street. And right now it is a nuisance. Okay. Council, you have in your packet already the 2 letters that were sent on August 2nd to the owner as well as the tenant. Okay. The pictures are just a smidgen, a sample of what's there. One's on the front on the 3rd Street, and then one's what's in the alley. I will read you the last paragraph of the tenant's letter. As of July 31st, 2023, your personal property left on the town's right-of-way and alley has become a nuisance. If the nuisance is not cleaned up, this will be discussed at the next Lynn Council meeting on August 8th, 2023 at 7 p.m. at the Lynn Community Church, which is at 114 East 5th Street, which you are invited to attend. The town of Lynn has the right to clean up the nuisance at your expense. In addition, a lien can be imposed on your personal property for all expenses for the cleanup, and or you can be guilty of a misdemeanor per ordinance 1101, section 15, and be subject to a civil penalty in the amount of no more than $1,000. The civil penalty is in addition to any other costs such as cleanup costs, which may be imposed, and any or all related court costs incurring by filing a claim of lien with the auditor of the County of Adams, Washington State. It would be in your best interest to resolve this matter because the longer the personal property is left unclaimed, the longer it is prone to theft. And the area has been cleaned up from what the original picture is, but it's still,
Junk.
yeah. And essentially, using your words, it has been stated that what's there is not wanted. They have picked up, they have claimed what they want.
So the rest needs to go.
So so the rest is in the street. And I don't know where you want to go from here.
Well, surely we should take some kind of action on that.
We have the letter that I read portion of was taped, sent certified mail to the tenant, as well as the owner. And the copy of the letter was taped with 15, were the 15 letters that we taped to the different big items. So, and we documented by taking pictures of Henry taking the letters to the items.
Yeah, I see.
Okay. And that's where we left it on the 2nd. Yeah. So they were they were evicted on the 31st. We documented on the 2nd. And now it is the 8th. They have had time to pick and choose and take and move to a different location. So.
You see, King put a bin out there, but it's too small for it.
Actually, the town has put that
Oh,
dumpster out there, mainly because, hey, if you don't want something, you use your muscles to put it in the dumpster. It has been used, so the owner and the tenants will be charged for the dumpster now. But the rest of the stuff is still there. Causing a nuisance. Or it's defined as nuisance.
Has there been any conversation from the two residents that were evicted?
No, not face to face or,
By email, letter, whatever?
no. The person that they are staying with was in the office paying on their water bill, and that's what they said was, I asked them, I said, could you have them come into the office and let us know exactly what their plan is, what they want to do, are they done with it, there is a dumpster there, please, if you fill it up, the lids have to be closed, and what'd she say? She would she would come back in this time. Yeah. Right,
Okay, and this was on what day?
today.
Today? It seems that they have been given ample time that they're going to make any kind of a change to what it is currently. My suggestion is they get one letter stating that if they are not only willing to comply, then we'll accept that as termination of contact, and then proceed with whatever we need to do to get it cleaned up, because it looks like a mess.
it's disgusting, yeah. And then when she take back the challenge, that house has moved into Randy's.
If I might, read, section 6 of the nuisance enforcement notice. The enforcement officer shall investigate all public nuisance complaints. If the enforcement officer determines that a public nuisance exists, the enforcement officer shall take such action as to reasonably necessary to abate the nuisance. This includes, but not limited to, ordering the owner or responsible person creating, permitting, or maintaining the nuisance to abate it. And I think that that satisfies that. If the owner or responsible person does not abate the nuisance, then the enforcement officer shall give the owner of the, or the responsible person written notice that the nuisance exists. I think that that fulfills that. A description of the nuisance, the ordinance or other law that is being violated, which does. A time frame by which to abate the nuisance that shall not exceed 12 days. So I think we're within that time frame from the 2nd to the 8th right now?
Yeah.
Okay, and that includes the weekends, right? And I myself, kind of gave them the weekend to, if they were working, they had a little bit of time to do. Excuse me.
We should act.
And a statement that if the owner or the responsible person does not abate the nuisance, then the town shall abate the nuisance at the owner's or the responsible person's expense, and a lien, and that was stated. Lien for such expense be imposed upon the property. The nuisance shall be served personally or by first-class mail. And it was served by certified mail to both owner and tenant, as well as the 15 letters that were taped on the bigger items.
And she was there just yesterday. So she must have read what was on there, basically. I think we should act on it.
Well, the length of time that they have is 12 days for.
No, up to.
Okay.
It says, the nuisance that shall not exceed 12 days.
I'm sorry, I misinterpreted that. I'm in agreement with Mr. Dew on that. I think that we should proceed with the cleanup, notifying them that they will incur the expense on the cleanup. Make a motion that we enact the cleanup of the residents at this time.
We'll second that.
Okay, can I clarify something?
What's that?
When? Tonight? What are you doing tonight?
I'm available.
We have to have a time, a date, or whatever. The dumpster, all we have to do is call CSI, and the dumpster will be dumped tomorrow. Because that's regular dumpster days. And then it can stay there and be dumped again, filled up and dumped again, if it needs to. I do not know what is in it right now, but the lids have been moved. The lids are kind of.
What about the big stuff at the back? I mean, that's cookers, washing machines.
Yeah.
They're pretty big items.
You'll have to have a plan on what to do with those. Load them up and take them to Britsville. It's whatever you guys, but I would like to have a time, a date.
Okay, then we make tomorrow's date effective. It could be 8/9/23.
Yeah, just amend your motion that you,
Correct.
you want Barbara to reread it?
Please.
Jim amends his motion to start the cleanup of the residents at 108 West 3rd Street on 8/9/23.
Yeah.
Robert seconded. So Robert still seconded it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, it's moved and seconded to, further clean, 108 3rd Street, August 9th. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, so now, what I want you to do is this, take the, is there another, I forgot what was in there. Oh. What was the other thing?
It costs $400 to put a lien on a house, as well as whatever the cost of the cleanup will be, and the townspeople will pay for it until
Okay,
the house
with
is
that
sold and recovered.
in
done
your-
by the lien.
Frame of mind. This is food for thought, nothing official yet, but food for thought of something that Henry is working on to, you say it.
Which one is that?
Make it so it's all in one.
All in one, that's the administrative enforcement program, or the other?
Ordinance for the removal of personal
Personal
property
property, right.
and or abandoned property in the right of way
Right,
from town public property.
Checking out the RCWs with the, in only 3 states where the landlord, when they evict, is allowed to throw the stuff in the street. It's Washington, Connecticut, and Wisconsin, but they don't say anywhere how you get rid of it. But other counties and cities in the state use the nuisance law, and they do 48 hours. If they're over there for 48 hours, it's gone. If it's more than $250 total, it's supposed to be stored for 60 days in a secure place. So that would mean if there was another one, you would take the product, take pictures of it, you could place it, which is convenient, in a dumpster, and then store it in a secure place, like over by well 8 or something like that, covered up, secure, nobody's gonna get in there, and after the 60 days, it's the town can do what they want, if they wanna sell it as scrap or put it out for bid if somebody wants any of the stuff, you know.
How do you
somebody wants.
determine the value?
As what's on Craigslist, I guess, or something like that, you know.
I mean,
Signs, most of the stuff is junk. If you consider it as junk, then it's junk, but it's the big stuff. If the couch looked good, would look like it was wet and all that, you could say that it's not worth anything, so then it's just,
It's probably not worth
Garbage.
$60 scrap.
Right. right. But if the way it is, after 48 hours, it becomes property of the town to do it as they please.
And the owner is the responsible one for the 60
Right,
days.
the owner
storage.
threw the stuff in the street, but since they own the property where they threw the stuff, they are responsible through the RCWs for the charges.
So this right here, what Barbara handed out to you, is just food for thought.
I'm not
Like I
sure
said,
that Henry is
read through
qualified
it,
to give our
edit,
town legal
look
advice
things
about
up
cleanup
in,
like this.
RCWs
Going on
the
private property can
backside.
cause lots of
If the
problems.
ownership of the property can be determined, the owner fails to remove the property from the public right-of-way or from town public property, the owner may be subject to the following. Class 1 civil infraction with the maximum assessment not to exceed the amount of $250, not including statutory assessments. And number 2, in addition, the court may require the owner of such property to reimburse the town for costs which may include staff time, equipment costs, removal fees, storage fees, and disposal fees. So this is just the beginning. If you want to have something that is separate or added to, right?
The 1101.
The 1101, it maybe further explains it easier or whatever. But that right there is a draft. It is a food for thought. Please edit. Please get back with to the office with any ideas, thoughts, what you don't like, what you do like. Remember that anything that goes to the lawyer, opinions on that is cost. There's lawyer costs on that. Anything that goes to the courts is cost, our cost. But I was really set back when it was said that you had to store it for 60 days. If I'm the owner of the property, I don't want to pay storage for 60 days for a tenant that is gone. But that's my personal.
So we have to basically store it.
No, that's what this language says. That if the owner doesn't do it, then it goes over into the town, correct?
Because if you don't wait that 60 days, like the RCW says, then you're stealing their property.
Yeah.
So you have to do it.
All right, then I guess she don't take it, and I can't see her.
No, there's nothing there.
So right now, we're doing another notice, letting them know that tomorrow they're cleaning up, just cleaning up. Okay. Because what's left is garbage, like you said. So council, what do you want to do with the quote-unquote appliances in the alley? And I guess there is a appliance in the 3rd Street.
Took up a barbecue, fridge,
Oh, it's a barbecuer?
Barbecue. Yeah. Washer dryer.
what the roof around the front again?
There's one out back.
My
Barbecue
understanding,
front.
there's nothing inside of the barbecue.
In front.
The inside's all been ripped out. So I'm sure it's very valuable.
Well, if it's a good frame, you could buy the insides. Suggestion.
Yeah, get it done quick.
Okay, but where do you want to get it done?
Her office garage, the store.
No, I got no room in there. I mean, Chile, I know know scrap's not worth a lot, I want to surely someone will scrap. Don't make me pull any scrap, I'm gonna say take it. Free.
The thing is that the barbecue, the washing machine, the dryer, and the other, we have to store those for 60 days, correct? Okay.
Well,
Let's find a place to store them.
What about well 8?
Do
Well,
we have
that's a
the-
well, and that shouldn't be a storage area.
That has lots of scrap up there, don't it?
Yeah, but we're slowly getting it taken care of, but yeah, it should not be the storage area. But you're right, it's the only secure, quote unquote, secure.
I think anywhere else to put it.
We'll be storing that tomorrow and use that as a beginning date for that. We'll get it cleaned up so that it doesn't look like the junk that it is. Alley.
Well, and, the owner has not answered yet of the letter. So,
Okay, when did they receive the letter? Or when was it sent?
the same day, but it went to Olympia, where the owner lives, because that's where she is. She left here that Monday, right? That Monday, and went back home. And at the bottom of her letter, which is a repeat of what the tenant's letter is, we put in there, any help that you could provide to help resolve this would be greatly appreciated.
We have received no response from that.
And we haven't, no. Unless she has responded through email.
It's a bit tricky in it, because I mean, the people that got evicted, that really all that stuff belongs to them. So can she be held accountable for that? Or not, probably? See what I mean? Because property is, I mean, that's not kids' property. People that got evicted left it there. Does that then become her property where she is responsible?
I don't know, that's a
Yes,
legal issue
it does.
Yeah.
that we're not able to ascertain ourselves. So, I'd say, regardless, put it in storage, send her another letter saying it is now in storage, whatever fees apply for that, as far as picking it up and storing it, and give it 60 days, and if not, at the end of that period of time, do what we need to do with it.
It just seems kind of awkward. I just suppose, you know, that he gets the letter. And she
The
says,
owner gets
yeah,
that.
no, that's not my property. I don't want it that long to be like that. You know, she could do that.
Okay, but we need to have a letter at least
Yes.
stating that fact, so that we have some verification of what we are doing in that regard.
It is in the front of the actual property, the land. And that is, if I'm the owner, then that is kind of my responsibility. But it's also the right of way for the town,
Yes.
town's right of way. So if junk is in that spot, then I would be the first one to address cleanup. So maybe what we can do for council's ease of mind, try and contact the owner by email. That's pretty much how we communicate. And then let you know from there what's been said. Okay, but the actual junk can be thrown away tomorrow.
Although they probably don't have any value, they're still fall under the category of having to be stored. So if we could have that email sent tomorrow to the owner, because obviously the people themselves don't wish to have it.
And since they're a block away, they do have the capability to pick up and carry. Actually, anybody does, but it's not disappeared.
No, I think it would have done.
Okay. So please use that draft and kind of mill over, look at your 1101 nuisance ordinance and kind of mission and go together with that, see what you want to do on that. Okay, so with that taken care of, maybe what do you want to do with the next one that's going to be done? If there's another issue of things that are out in the right away. Follow the same, we have to follow the same procedure, but do you want to be aware of it from day one?
Yeah, yes.
I think so, that way.
Yes, this letter was written after the Monday that it happened, which was, gave them the Monday, Tuesday, this is Wednesday.
So then you got that one up Moy Street, Bobby Joe's place, that's kind of that. You know,
That's you know, we've got people that are buying properties that are have needed to be cleaned up, and they are slowly but surely, but there again, what happens if it's, you know, not my stuff and they just leave it? No, you bought it, lock, stock, and barrel, so that's your property, your issues. Yeah. Okay. All right. So if you have any thoughts between now and tomorrow, please let us know. Okay. All right, we've got mayor's report. The ordinance providing for an administrative enforcement program for enforcement of the town of Lynn's municipal code. Council, you've had this document for several weeks. That was given to you before June, the end of June. And this document establishes an additional remedy that may be used by the town to achieve compliance with, but not limited to, the following: uniform state and county building housing codes, junk vehicles, graffiti, weeds and trash nuisances, fences, obstructions at intersections, cross-connection controls, and that's just a small amount of what was in the ordinance. And it looked like this. Remember that? You have your copy. You want to use mine? Okay. So council, Feedback, comments, edits, concerns. Henry is here, can answer, further explain. And this is, again, do you want something that simplifies your other ordinances? The other ordinances are listed right there in the middle. Kind of hones in on what your notice of abatement, violation, the hearings that needs to happen. Gives you the example of property violation notice, notice to abate the unsafe and unlawful conditions, different examples there. If I am the owner and I fail to correct, it goes into inspections. Under inspections, it says it shall be the duty of the responsible person to request an inspection when the violation has been corrected. If no inspection is requested, it shall be deemed, I don't know what that word is, prima facie.
Done.
Oh, it has been done?
It has not been.
Oh, it has not been done.
Corrected.
Okay, you use bigger words than I am used to. Evidence that a violation remains uncorrected. If more than one inspection is necessary, an inspection fee of $50 shall be assessed for each subsequent inspection. Has authority to abate, procedures for abatements, emergency abatements. It just takes everything out of all of those ordinances and puts it into this one document. You want to say anything
That's
else?
what codification does. We don't need to do a
I'm
whole
trying to
nother
be fair
ordinance.
for the resolution method that we use. We would rather go the other route with the liens, which this whole thing boils down to that way.
Just reading some of that right there. That was the number of this street, you know, talking about 205.
Okay,
They are instructed line. I don't know if you've been down there, Henry.
There was,
And they've had two fires there. One that I had to fire with extinguisher myself because they panicked and couldn't put it out. So, you know, that's a danger. Liability. You know, and there's more stuff like every day. Mostly in the hours of 2 o'clock in the morning.
and just so that you know, the owners are very much on our side of trying to remedy all of that. They are. Or they are in contact with us.
I did talk to the owner and they said they were going to eviction. It's a long time coming.
It does take time, and that's what you gotta work with. So with you having this already, again, if you have any edits, comments that you want to insert or maybe address differently, then you're gonna have to let us know so that we can do whatever that needs to be done there. It's an accumulation. It doesn't have to be
Holding my hand
done.
up and being
We can
ignored
go
again.
with each individual ordinance and its abatements or its requirements. This just accumulates.
I have a question.
The, okay, all of these, the municipal codes are already on the books, correct? All we're doing is defining the parameters to make them all, current with each other.
Right, right, Henry.
Yes, it doesn't supersede anything that we already have, but it's a help to get us through the procedures correctly.
I have a
And
question,
has this
please.
been, looked at by the lawyer?
No, that will be done after anything that the council
After we
has
make
to
a
say,
decision on
and that way it's just, one charge.
Okay.
But it is, what we have now is not,
She said,
I don't know what,
times have changed, that's the answer I got.
yeah. I think things have been vague on some areas, and it needs to be stronger in some areas.
Makes it clear.
Yeah, and that's where they are, the lawyers coming from. So, I do believe that, if the council says, okay, we like this, we want to give it a try to see, do we have stronger legs to stand on for our ordinances of the abatement, enforcement, then we'll let them have at it.
Okay.
So,
I have a question.
And we have maybe so we can implement this at the, let's see, what would be August 22nd meeting?
I don't know if that's enough time for everybody to get back and then to compile, and then, what do you think?
It shouldn't be till September, give the council time to all read it, decide what about it next time. And
Okay, and
it's
then
time
when's
to
our
go to the
first
lawyer.
meeting in September?
Right.
What is the date of our first meeting in September?
September, it looks like the 12th.
And then we, at that point in time, we'll make a final decision and then run it through the lawyer at that point in time. If and what we are going to determine is needed. And that should give our other two members that are not here, give them a heads up that they need to be looking at this as well, so we can have 5 eyes on it. Determine that.
Okay, so thank you on that. And moving on with the update here. Wastewater treatment plant. I believe that the new wastewater treatment plant was commissioned in 2014. Okay? There are 2 blowers at the plant. Blower number 1, and that, okay. They're about, what, 4 feet, 4.5 feet blowers that blow air that makes a bubble out in the what do you call those, the tanks? Okay, okay. So, 2 blowers. Blower number 1 was taken to K&N for repairs December of 2020. Okay? And was reinstalled in June of 2021. So it took that long for it to be I'm gonna just use the word rebuild, okay? I can't remember if they were short in, people, workers to do or not. But anyway, it took from December to June. Approximately $5,300. Okay, so that was done and restalled, working great, so on and so forth. Last week, Stephen and Joe were out at the sewer plant looking at the effluent tank pump, and all of a sudden, blower number 2 blew up. So it is now taken to repairs, but we don't have an estimate yet of the cost. The sewer plant is working A-okay on one blower because only one blower works at a time. Okay. But the cost, I'm estimating with the years and the inflation, round up to 56. Might be more than that.
We'll say that, I would say 6,000.
Okay, so from December 2020 to now, that was $5,300. Or sorry, back up. From 2014 to 2020, it was $5,300 to fix. So now we're on blower number 2 being repaired. And like I said, Stephen and Joe installed the new effluent pump today that was needed. The assistance with TP Septic to pump out the tank, the excess material, so that the pump could be exposed and then lifted up and the new pump put back in. So that was done today. Cagney is currently working full force on puncture vine elimination with the weed board's assistance. And we have a aerosol can of chemical that she sprays the heart of the puncture vine and it kills down. And then next day, 2 days, whatever, she would go back in and pull up everything, and it's not such a chore, but it's still sticky and all that. So her concentration is on the puncture vine, and it's kind of like kochia, it's rampant, so it's still a noxious weed. Moving on, the employment, we've got one application so far that's been turned in, and it closes on August 10th. So today's the 8th. With that, I have nothing more. So I'll return to the agenda for the Finance Committee report.
Okay, Myra, did you find anything?
I didn't.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve the warrant check register dated 7/25/2023 to 8/7/2023 in the amount of $34,812.37.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the warrant check register July 25th to August 7th of 2023 for $34,812.37. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries.
Make a motion that we pay the outstanding invoices dated from July 21st.
I need to add a $150 reimbursement for a boot stipend to bring the total up to $22,706.37. So the total is $22,706.37 on your pending invoices. I apologize for that.
Okay, dated 7/21/2023 through 8/3/2023, in the amount of $22,706.37.
I second it.
Can I change your date to the 8th? Not
Okay,
August 3rd. It's moved and seconded to approve the outstanding invoices from July 21st to August 8th of 2023 for $22,706.37. All in favor, say aye.
aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Yes.
Robert, do you have anything for the order?
No, not tonight.
Myra, do you have anything? Jim, do you have anything?
I don't have anything either.
Okay. Public comment section at council's discretion. Denise Sneed, PW contract.
And the code and the audit.
Oh, I see.
The Public Works contract, when are you expecting to receive it, Paula? Are you going to sign it yourself, or are you presenting it to council when you get it?
That answer can be given with the knowledge that the council has already had that contract, had that approval to sign it.
But they haven't
Resolution.
received the contract, so are you just going to sign it when you get it?
Yes,
And it's going to say 20 years on it?
yes,
Okay.
because that's what the resolution said.
And with the audit, when is the auditor going to be here?
We haven't been,
I haven't been notified of any audit.
This is our 3-year audit.
I haven't been notified of any audit.
she answered your question. Next.
Our code combines all the ordinances. We pay to have that done. So for you to create another ordinance to combine all the ordinances into one ordinance is kind of redundant. And that costs money for the lawyer, right? So I'm not sure what solution, what this is solving. What's the difference from what you're adding to what's already in the code that's already combined all the ordinances?
I believe that I said that it was a simplifying process.
That's what codification is.
But I appreciate your questions.
Thank you for no answers as usual.
I answered, as usual. So anything else?
No, those are the
okay,
3
thank
things
you.
I had on there.
Amy Allen has 108 West 3rd, garbage.
Actually,
Oh, Chris? Yeah. You
did you
changed your name?
receive, did you receive receipt of your certified letter response?
From 108.
Because I
To
went,
108.
I called Kim directly and per what Henry stated, you have to allow at least 48 hours, and she did not receive it until today.
We mailed them out.
Yeah, but until you
So,
get a
yeah,
receipt.
you're right. We mailed them out, and we have not gotten the owner's receipt yet. But we were in contact with her.
Because she told me to speak on her behalf that she has
Well,
just signed the letter that she received it today.
okay,
And so,
but
per
Chris-
what Henry said, that she should get the 48 hours.
okay, I'm not gonna entertain anything that she has said to you because she needs to address us.
Okay.
Okay, that, I appreciate you.
Okay, well, but legally, if
Right.
you dispose of the stuff, then you're responsible for your insurance,
Right, but I'm,
as long as you know.
and I appreciate you trying to contact her. Other people have contacted her as well, I understand,
You want
but
to know.
she has not contacted us. So I think that that's only in fairness.
And it has been 48 hours since we mailed the letter.
But
You
she also
did,
made the
because-
comment that she had to send a letter to Olympia.
Okay, all right, she understands now, okay.
Doesn't count when you mail it, it counts when you get a record of getting it.
Right. So that's the end of the list.
Yeah, make a motion that we adjourn the council meeting.
Okay, move second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Any opposed? Okay, meeting adjourned. Yeah, unless you don't have one.